Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Advanced Warfare in Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the new DLC weapon, the Ohm, which is a hybrid LMG shotgun. I never in my life thought I would say hybrid LMG shotgun, but that's what we have here today. And Ohm, I believe, stands for, oh my, this gun is powerful. This is a really amazing weapon that we have in DLC today. I've got a lot to talk about it, especially because it's got two different modes. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Expect really good gameplay from me today, about a 3.0 or so. Xbox One and Xbox 360 Season Pass holders get this weapon right now. Everybody else is going to get it whenever the Havoc DLC comes out on their system. That's DLC2. You can get it if you have the Season Pass. That's when it'll come out for PlayStation users and such. Or if you just buy that individual DLC, that's when you get it. But it'll show up in your lobbies whether you paid for it or not. A lot of questions about that. And it has two different firing modes. It has an LMG mode and a shotgun mode. I'm pretty sure we've already covered this, but it works a lot like the XMGs. On the consoles, you toggle left on the D-pad to change between your firing modes. I'm not sure what the button is on PC, but just thought I'd mention that too. So, LMG mode is a 3-shot kill from any range. Let me say that again. Light machine gun mode, which is the standard mode on this weapon, on the base variant, not any of the other crazy ones, is a 3-shot kill from any range. That is extremely strong. That is right up there with the Melee Subverter, the Melee Heavy. That's stronger than the Pytake, stronger than a whole ton of weapons, and that's actually stronger than the Mark 14. I think the only other weapon that deals that kind of damage is the EPM3. That is extremely powerful. 3-shot kills are awesome. That's what makes the ASM-1 powerful, and I really want to drive that home, that this is a 3-shot kill from any range all the way across any map in the entire game. And unlike the previous energy weapons in Advanced Warfare, this one, at least the light machine gun mode, can actually shoot through walls. I was playing with Quentin today. You'll find his Twitter down there in the description. By the way, he helped me test a lot of things, so if you do see his Twitter down there in the description, at least click on it and tell him thank you. He helped me with a ton of testing this morning, and he was actually wall-banging people with this weapon. He was telling me he was getting 3 shots through walls. I personally cannot confirm that, but I want to let you know that unlike the other energy weapons, you can punch through walls with this one. The light machine gun mode fires at 600 rounds per minute. That's pretty much in line with the other LMGs. The Pytake is a little bit slower than that. The Melee is a little bit faster than that. And if you put rapid fire on it, it's going to fire at 720 RPM. This is the same as the BAL, the same as the AK-12 or the new ASM-1. It's a very common fire rate. It'll probably feel a little fast for LMGs, but very good. And I am going to end up recommending rapid fire later on. But next, let's talk about recoil, at least recoil in the LMG mode. We're going back to our good old wall here on Green Band. This is the normal variant, testing the recoil. As you can see, very low. The energy weapons don't really leave a good bullet pattern, unfortunately, but you get the idea. This is the werewolf variant, which unfortunately I didn't like very much. It has better handling, but I find the recoil on the LMG mode to be a little bit strong. You can see it's not quite as good. Going back to the base variant here, then we're going to go back to the werewolf one more time just so that we can make sure we didn't get a fluke pattern over there. I do kind of like the reload animation. By the way, if you double tap X, it reloads super fast, which you throw away your ammo. A little pro tip right there, a double tap reload. See, again, not very accurate, and you can't put a foregrip attachment on it because if you look at the picture of the weapon, it already has a foregrip built onto it. I think that they just took it off because it would look silly with two foregrips. You'd have to hold it with 3 hands. I don't know. One of the unusual things about this weapon is that it has no discernible headshot bonus. Since it kills in 3 shots at any range, it doesn't really matter if you get headshots or not, and at close range, even if you get 2 headshots, the person will still live, so that doesn't really matter. And as far as I know, the shotgun mode also has no headshot bonus, so I wouldn't even worry about aiming for the head. Just aim for the body and rack up your 3-shot kills. Don't worry about anything else. That's one of the modes on this weapon. Let's talk about the other mode. The shotgun mode, I would say, is better than the S12. It's not as good as the Bulldog, not as good as the TAC-19, but definitely better than the S12. Then again, maybe I just have an irrational hate for that weapon. And I'm not going to recommend that you don't use Gung Ho because it gets the shotgun penalty. The S12, after this update, gets an even smaller penalty with Gung Ho, so they don't really compare there. If you use Gung Ho and you sprint with the Ohm, you're going to have extremely wide hipfire. You're probably not going to hit much, and you're going to have a bad time. The damage is, as kind of how I described shotgun performance, somewhere in between the Bulldog and the S12. I would put it being a little bit closer to the S12 than the Bulldog. It's not perfectly in the middle, but it is in between the two. Definitely nowhere near the TAC-19. You're going to have to shoot quite a few times to get a one-shot kill, but you have 40 rounds. Swapping to the shotgun mode doesn't really cost you any extra ammo, so you can just spam it out full auto-like, and it fires 8 pellets. It's not a 6 or 5 or 4 like low pellet shotgun, kind of like the Executioner and Black Black Ops or anything. It's a standard 8-pellet shotgun, and a lot of you want to know what the one-shot kill range is, so I tested it. This is about the maximum one-shot kill range that you can get on the S12. It's not perfect, could be better, but you know, I'll work with it given that it's full auto and all that sort of stuff. Speaking of full auto, we should probably talk about the rate of fire. It fires at 450 rounds per minute, which is actually quite fast for a shotgun. I think that makes it either the fastest or near to the... It's definitely in the higher end of shotguns in Advanced Warfare, but unlike the other shotguns, you can attach rapid fire to it, and rapid fire affects both modes of this weapon. With rapid fire, it fires at approximately 525 RPM, and I'm pretty sure that would make it the fastest firing shotgun in Advanced Warfare. That's going to ramp up your time to kill, going to put a lot more pellets downstream. You do have a slight hipfire penalty there, but I think it's totally worth it to put just, I was going to say more lead downstream, but in this case it's more lasers downstream. Very, very effective if used in that manner. However, there is a trick to this weapon that I learned pretty early on. I don't know how many of you noticed. I don't know if you've seen me doing it in the gameplay, but the shotgun can really make or break you here. The 3-shot LMG is great, but swapping over to shotgun in those little clutch moments will save you. But the hipfire is atrocious. However, the hipfire cone actually doesn't grow if you move. So typically in Call of Duty games, if you spam your shots, especially on a full auto shotgun, the hipfire gets wider, 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 and your shots spread. These don't. As long as you stand still, your shots won't spread. And I got an example right here. This was actually a rate of fire test. I'm going to swap over to the shotgun mode, and you'll notice that as I shoot, yes, I have view kick, but my little white crosshairs there actually aren't moving at all. They're standing perfectly still, which is crazy. So the trick is, what you want to do with the shotgun is you want to try and stand still when you can, or move little, not move very much. Also actually makes it a little more accurate if you crouch. That's pretty nice too. And don't use gung-ho. I just... really wouldn't recommend gung-ho, and I really would recommend just trying to stand still. It's kind of like quickscoping in a weird backwards kind of way with your hybrid LMG shotgun. One of the few, and I do mean very few, downsides to this weapon, other than the movement speed, is that it has a 40-round magazine, which is kind of tiny. 40 rounds is not very good on a light machine gun. That's less than any of the light machine guns, even the ones that have magazine penalties like the Whalehorn or the Pytake Exploit or something like that. 40 rounds is tiny. You're going to do a lot of reloading. Thankfully, it reloads pretty quickly, and if you double tap reload, the speed reload animation is very fast. You have a lot of reserve ammo, but that's definitely a limitation. You can put extended mags on. That's a very good attachment, which I'd recommend later, or maybe right now. Let's move into the attachments. I feel that it's best with quick draw, rapid fire, and extended mags. If any of these, I'm going to recommend rapid fire. That just dumps on people. It makes the recoil pretty rough. The recoil's good as is. It's a lot harder with rapid fire, but you put lead downstream, you kill very quickly, and it makes it with rapid fire shotguns excellent. Extended mags, obviously with rapid fire, you're throwing bullets away. Magazine's tiny anyway. Quick draw is great. It allows you to kind of snap aim targets. I really like quick draw with my LMGs. That's just kind of my thing. But there aren't a whole lot of bad attachments on this weapon. I found the iron sights are good enough to where I don't need optics, so I just go for other things. As for what I think about this weapon, my personal opinion on it, that's where this starts to get complicated. I think the Ohm is an extremely strong weapon. As I said in the beginning, oh my, this gun is strong. Like, seriously, it's amazing. It's very strong. I try not to use the word OP, especially not to weapons that have just came out, especially on this little sleep when we don't know the full extent of the patch, of the balance, or how it's going to pan out in the long run. If it is not OP, which I don't know because I've used it for like 2 hours, it's definitely going to be a top tier weapon. It's a really good weapon. Not only is the base light machine gun very good, the shot, perhaps the best one in the game if it wasn't for the ammo count, the shotgun is better than one of the other shotguns. It's better than the S12. The Bulldog and the TAC-19 are better. So those are two very good guns. You can swap back and forth very quickly, kind of like the Ripper from Black Ops 2. Except the Ripper was kind of like a bad version of an assault rifle and an okay SMG. These are like two good versions of guns, and you can swap back and forth really quickly. And it's really versatile. It gives you a whole lot of options and a whole lot of... if you ran overkill before, you have no need to run overkill with this weapon. If you're running overkill with the Ohm, you're seriously doing something wrong because it's already two good guns. And if you have the DLC, if you have the Season Pass, I highly recommend you use it. Guys, that's all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you want to check out more info about the patch, I was up forever, tonight. You can click the box on the left. I've got all the best patch notes that I could get. And the box on the right is going to be on the TAC-19 Bang Stick, which comes out tomorrow. As always, if you enjoyed, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And I am going to go get some sleep. Drifter out.